Good morning. It's Wednesday the 29th of May 2024 and the sun is out, yay! After yesterday, which was slightly on the moist side, it's lovely to see the sun out. The forecast is for rain later today, but hopefully I might have done most of today's walk by then. Anyway, I'm back beside the River Severn. I'm a little bit further downstream from where I was yesterday. In fact, if you look over there, you can see the church spire of Westbury Church. So yes, we're only a few miles downstream from Westbury, but today my walk starts here in the beautiful village of Newnham. The village of Newnham, sometimes referred to as Newnham-on-Severn, is on the west bank of the River Severn, just under 3 miles to the southwest of Westbury. I walked south along Lower High Street, perhaps the most memorable feature of the village, with the braided street running steeply uphill beneath lime trees. Here I passed the wonderful clock tower. Isn't the clock tower a wonderful landmark? Absolutely wonderful. Well, the A48's getting busier, so I shall move on. But I have to say, I think Newnham must qualify as the prettiest village on this stretch of the A48 between Gloucester and Chepstow. The Romans forded the Severn between Newnham and Arlingham, using the rocky riverbed and a firm sandbar. But the Newnham Ferry was already operating by 1238, when Henry II granted an oak to the ferrywoman so that she could build a boat. The ferry enjoyed commercial success after the river changed course in 1802, and 19th century proposals for tunnels and bridges came to nothing. It gradually declined in the second half of the 20th century and is now just a memory. This is a nice little viewpoint. You can see across the Forest of Dean from here. Somewhere up there is Blaze Bailey viewpoint. Oh well, I'm now going to see if I can get inside the church. Back at Church Street, I turned right and cut through the churchyard of the imposing village church, which was ravaged by fire in 1881. Ah, St Peter's Church, Newnham. How lovely to get inside this one. Just saw a couple of very friendly gentlemen outside, just doing a little bit of groundskeeping. So I don't know if one of them's the local vicar. But yeah, they're just doing some weeding, I think, and just keeping the churchyard tidy. Yeah, nice morning for it. Let's hope it stays like it. Oh, lovely. Some information about the church. I won't try and read all that out today. What a very lovely couple of gentlemen. Had a quick chat with both of them before I moved on. And one of them said, look out for the viewpoint. And this is it here. And what a viewpoint. Wow, look at that. Isn't that absolutely wonderful? So here, the River Severn bends right round in a horseshoe. So within the horseshoe, on the other side of the riverbank, is the Arlingham Peninsula. But I'm going to be sticking on this side of the river. I'm going to be following the riverbank for a while, and I'm heading towards those tall pylons in the background. The path from the church dropped down steeply to the A48, but I quickly went left again onto a footpath away from the busy road. Isn't this lovely? How many times can I say that today? Just as I was descending along the pavement below Newnham Church, there was a bloke with a lawnmower. He was cutting the grass there on the verge, and he looked at me as I was walking by, and he saw my camera and tripod, and he said to me, I thought you had a grass trimmer there, he said. I said, I don't think I can cut the grass very well with my camera and tripod, but I'll have a go if you like, I said. Oh, it's been great. Do you know what? I've met some really friendly people this morning in Newnham. What a lovely place. And it's been a pleasure meeting some of you locals today. In just under a mile, my path led me to Bullo Pill. This is Bullo Pill. It's got some interesting history. Bullo Pill is a small tidal creek on the Severn, which was developed into a port and linked with the extraordinary Bullo Pill Railway, originally a horse-drawn plateway aimed at exporting industrial products from the heart of the forest. The railway was completed in 1810, but a year later, an audacious attempt to extend it under the Severn was defeated when the tunnel was flooded. The lock gates and dock walls of Bullo Pill still survive, and some boats are stored here, but the port has not operated commercially for many years, and it lives on primarily as a potent reminder of the former importance of the river trade to the Forest of Dean. There was also some associated industrial development, including a marble works and a later rubber mill, but the dock is now a quiet backwater. Very nice. Okay, right, well, the black clouds are getting bigger and bigger, so I better get cracking. Moving on from Bullo Pill, I continued along the Riverside path. It's incredible when I think about it. In all the years that I lived in my younger days near the River Severn, I didn't really walk much along the Riverside. So, yeah, very rarely walked up the River Wye a lot, but not beside the Severn much. But, so today is like a really unique walk for me, because I've certainly never walked along this part of the Severn before. Yeah, it's really nice. Anyway, I'd like to give a shout out to a really lovely guy called Paul. Hi Paul. Now, Paul has got a fantastic YouTube channel which is called West Country Wanderings, and there's a clue in the name there. He does cover the West Country in his videos, but he's done some fantastically made videos. You know, they're very professionally made. He's very good at presenting in his videos. He's done sort of videos of walks along canals, riversides, he's done railway walks, but the reason I thought of him now was because he's been doing videos along the Severn Way. Now the Severn Way is a long distance footpath that basically starts from the source of the river to the mouth, but it's on that side of the river. And I remember watching one video he did a little while ago which basically followed the Severn Way right round the Arlingham Peninsula, and it was great. So yeah, Paul has got a really good channel, to say, lots of different subjects. He's very regularly sort of like posting videos more than once a week normally. He's often sort of got 2 or 3, perhaps more out every week, so he's very busy on his YouTube channel. But yeah, I do recommend checking him out. Paul from West Country Wanderings. Okay, so I'm taking the right hand fork here. If I carried on the left hand fork, that would just take me around beside the river, but the river's just starting to bend around to the right over there, just beyond where those tall pylons are. But I will be reunited with the river a bit later on, so I'll see it when it's around the other side. But for now, I just want to walk along this way to somewhere else. It could be quite interesting because this path is very overgrown. It's clear that not many people use this footpath, and certainly they've let the grass grow a lot. After crossing the fields, my route led me onto a country lane, where I headed into the next village. Okay, this is Awre. Awre is an ancient place with a history going back before Saxon times, and has character moulded over the years by winds and tides of the River Severn. And here's Awre's war memorial. To the glory of God, and in grateful remembrance of the men of this parish, who gave their lives for justice, king and country in the Great War, 1914 to 1918, erected by the parishioners of Awre. Their name liveth forevermore. Well, I think I only ever came to Awre probably 2 or 3 times before now. Yeah, not somewhere I came to a lot. It's a nice little place, but it's one of those places again where it's very much off the beaten track, so if you come to Awre, you make a point of coming here. It's not somewhere that you pass through to get anywhere. Anyway, let's go and have a look at St Andrew's Church. So that was the Red Hart Inn. Never went in, but looks like it's not a pub anymore. Anyway, on to the church. St Andrew's Church dates back to the early 13th century, and the churchyard contains a 1,000-year-old yew tree and under the tree, beside the church, there are graves of fishermen who drowned in the River Severn in the days of the old Severn trow sailing ships. Lovely. Looks like a little area for kids. Kids have put little notices up. Yeah. Oh, lovely. Wow. This really is a very quiet backwater. Another beautiful church. Oh. Fantastic. Just can never stop admiring the architecture of these old churches. Much more interesting than a lot of the modern buildings we have nowadays. Yeah. That was another really lovely church in which I had the pleasure of going inside. St Andrew's Church here at Awre. Okay, well, I'm just going to follow this track down here. I'll be back beside the river again. Bit more long grass to walk through, but now, whoop, if I can get up this little incline. Oh, look at this! Yay! I am back beside the River Severn. Now, just over there, oh, probably can't see him, but those tall pylons that we saw earlier, I left the river just before there, and then the river turned round to the right, and here it is. And look how much more it's opened out. It's much wider. This is really where the River Severn starts to become an estuary. Fascinating. Oh, this is lovely. Right, I'm just going to walk beside this part of the riverside. Oh. This area is the site of the lost hamlet of Woodend, overwhelmed by the Severn in the Great Flood of 1741. It's like being beside the sea. Cool. Yeah, nice fresh sea air. Clear me sinuses. Okay, well, I'm only walking down here for a short section, and then I'm going to be turning back inland back towards Awre, and then I'm just going to be doing the last leg back to where I pick up my bus. Yeah, I got a bus again this morning because I knew the weather was going to be a bit more favourable than it was yesterday. I decided to get the bus to Newnham, and this is a linear walk. I don't do many linear walks, so when I've finished I'll be picking up a bus when I get to Blakeney at the end. Very invigorating walking beside the River Severn today, but this is where I leave it for today. So I'm now going to be walking back inland towards Awre, and I'm going to cut across and head towards Blakeney. I zigzagged across fields to meet a lane at Ripple House. Following the lane to the left, I was heading for Blakeney. I remember this. Yeah, some kind of measuring gauge. I guess that's when there are floods along here. That measures the flood. Does the water really go up that high, I wonder? Wow. I know in my younger days I used to very naively think that because Awre was on a peninsula, when the Severn sort of flooded and burst its banks, I thought that it perhaps got cut off like an island, and that's what this measuring gauge is all about. Yeah, probably just simply because this part of the road floods. Okay, well, it's starting to rain, so I'm going to get a move on now. I'm nearly at the end of the walk now, so I mean I've got a couple of miles to walk before I get to Blakeney, but I think I'll sign off soon. I'm actually surprised that the rain didn't come down sooner, so I've been quite lucky really. Anyway, I shall press on. That was good timing. Train's just come through. That's probably the Gloucester to Chepstow one, which I think goes on to Newport and Cardiff. Yeah, great stuff. Okay, that's it then. Just got to make my way back to Blakeney. It's been another lovely walk.